globalization, global competition, and given technological innovation. So it means, yes, we've got to deal with infrastructure, but I actually think the biggest scandal in the United States is K through 12 education. Our elite universities may be the envy of the world, but our high schools and elementary schools are not the envy of the world. In many cases, they're not competitive. And that's for those who finish them, obviously those who don't. A big problem. And so one of the things, people ask me, in terms of our position in the world, there's lots of things you can do overseas. And there's a zillion NGOs that are worthwhile and do healthy things in the realm of international health or international human rights work or what have you. But a lot of it is to think about what you can do at home to make this country more competitive. And I would just simply say that educational reform, and I've made it my own personal crusade over the next 10 years, that if there's one area where I'm going to try to make a difference in terms of time, is to look at how we prepare Americans for living in a global world. And yes, it involves science and the STEM type things, the math, but it also involves other things. It involves foreign language training, it involves giving them a basic understanding of how the world works, the knowledge base of it. But if these people are going to provide the manpower we need for our armed forces, for our foreign service, for our intelligence, if they're going to be competitive, if they're just simply going to be good citizens and be able to make informed decisions about what public policies to support, who to vote for. Should I support us staying in Afghanistan this long, or should I favor or not this or that free trade agreement? Our schools have got to do a better job of preparing Americans for these kinds of decisions. And I would just simply say that is one of the areas where people in this room and beyond could make a real difference in improving the quality of our education, if one of the principal purposes of education in the United States at whatever level is to get Americans ready for a world that, like it or not, is going to affect them. Already we're down, we represent 4% of the world's population. That percentage is going to gradually go down. We represent roughly, 22% of the world's economic output. We know that number is going down. And we live in a world where increasingly our fate is intertwined, whether it's with economic performance in Europe or Italy and other things. The price, whether there's stability in Bahrain. And if there's not stability in Bahrain, oil will go from $85 a barrel to $250 a barrel overnight. And this is the world we live in, and I just don't feel that we're arming our people intellectually for living in such a world.